morning, first grade. Mrs. Taima here. And today we are going to be doing our lesson for Module 1, Day 21. Can you believe we have been doing Wit and Wisdom for 21 days? You should give yourself a pat on the back for working so hard. All right. So today we are going to start a new book, and I am sure it's a book that you've heard of, and you've probably read it, and that book is Green Eggs and Ham. It's a Dr. Seuss book, so that's exciting. We're starting a new book, and we are going to teach along with Miss Spears, and today we are going to be noticing and wondering about Green Eggs and Ham. So let's get started and see what Miss Spears has to teach us today. And then I'll hop back in later and read part of Green Eggs and Ham to you. See you in a little bit.
Hello, fantastic first graders, and welcome back to Wit and Wisdom in Sync. My name is Tanisha Spears, and I am so excited to jump back into our learning for today. But before we do, let's make sure you are ready for the lesson by gathering your materials. For this lesson, you will need your copy of Green Eggs and Ham if you have one. You'll need your Wit and Wisdom in Sync journal and a pencil. Pause the video now if you need to gather your materials. As you may remember, we have been working to build knowledge to answer our big question or our essential question. And that question is, how do books change lives around the world? Before we can jump into answering this big question or this essential question, we will spend a few days closely reading the text Green Eggs and Ham. And as we read, we will be thinking about this focusing question. How can books change my life? One more time. How can books change my life? And every time we read Green Eggs and Ham, we will come closer to answering that focusing question. I want to share the question, however, that will frame our learning for today. This question will also help us build our knowledge to answer the essential question for the module. So our content framing question for today is, what do I notice and wonder about this text? And as you get ready to make observations about the text, we are going to practice together. I want you to take a look at the front cover of the book. What do you notice? Tell your learning partner one thing you notice. I wish I could hear what you noticed. Here are a few things that I noticed. I noticed a character. And that character sort of looks like an animal of some sort, maybe. I also noticed that that character or animal is looking down at a plate with what looks like green eggs and ham on it. And there is a fork sticking out of the ham. I bet you noticed some of the same things too. Okay, now I want you to look at the cover again. What do you wonder? And remember, to wonder is to be curious and come up with questions that you want answered when you read. Tell your learning partner something you wonder. Here are a few things that I wondered. Why are the eggs and the ham green? And what is that creature that is looking at the green eggs and ham? And why is that character or that creature looking at the green eggs and ham? Did you wonder some of the same things? I bet you did. Now I want to take a minute to remind you of some of the things that we do when we make observations. When we make observations, we use question words to help us show curiosity. And the wonder wheel that you see on your screen shows some of the question words we can use when we ask questions. So let's look at the words that we see. We see the prompt, I wonder, and now we see the words who, where, when, what, why, how. Now, I don't know about you, but I know there are some words that I use frequently, and there are some that I don't use that much. And I bet it's the same for you. What words or what question words do you use less often? Which question words are words that you don't use that much? Tell your learning partner. Today, I challenge you to use some of the words that you don't use that often, because using a variety of question words can help you better understand the text. Are you ready to get into the book? Let's do it. All right, friends. I am going to read portions of the book, so not the whole book. And as I read, you're going to listen carefully, because you're going to have to record or write at least one question about green eggs and ham. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not reading the whole book. I'm going to read sections of the book, but you are still going to listen closely, because you are going to have to record or write one question about green eggs and ham. Are you ready? Listen carefully.